Yes, you are audible for me. I just wanted to ask you, can you start telling few things about yourself so that people can relate to you and they know you, like which year you gave exam, what has happened, all this. Can you give a brief? Because your exam was little different than all of these. You gave it 1 year before them. So whatever you can remember and tell us.
Hi, so I am Tejaswini. I am from NIFT Kolkata, and I had given my NIFT exam in 2020. So before the COVID started, and back then we used to have situation tests as well, and we were the first batch that did not get to give situation test, and some of us really had that mindset that even if this exam goes bad, we will have situation test to depend on. But that is what ruined the exam and the ranks for some of us. So first tip would be that give your best in each and every exam you're giving. Stay in the moment, don't think about what will happen, and enjoy the exam, because all of you are very creative. All of us here are very creative, and which is why we are choosing this field. So give your best, have confidence in yourself. And so my exam was in 2020, and GAT exam went pretty fine. That was, I think, the first year when English was a little bit tougher than it used to be. Like we underestimated English a little, but it was a
Yeah,
little
but
bit
English
tough.
has 50 questions
Yeah,
out of 100. So
yeah.
GAT is only about English.
Yeah,
And
in our
16.
time, I think it used to be 20. I think we had 20 exams, 20 questions, and two were comprehension. So that was really tough. And we had prepared, but we gave really less time. So, you make sure that you divide your time equally, even for preparation and even for while giving the exam. So, and then maths it's not, like Aryan said, it's not that hard. People say that we are very weak at math, but it's not that hard. It's 8th level. But most of the people will think that math is hard and they'll attempt it at the end. So maybe you should, if you feel that you can do it, please do it in the beginning itself, because that will give you a lead over
Because,
others.
yeah, because that also is like GK. You will know what you will not know. So
Yeah. And that will give you a lead, because a lot of people will miss on that. They will think it is hard. So that will give you a lead. Same way with GK, like everyone said, either you know it or you don't. So that is how it goes. About CAT, my exam was a little different because I gave it 1 year ago. COVID did not exist, so we did not have COVID infused questions. So back then we had our first question was a motorcycle was drawn. A basic line drawing of a motorcycle was there within a square, and we had to either make two human beings or two animals, or one human being and one animal. Like two creatures had to be there on that motorcycle. So that was, and we had to make a scene. So what I did was, I thought, instead, I'm not very good at sketching and I'm not very confident with it. So I thought of making an animal. I'm not very good at human drawings either. But I think I was pretty good at ideating. So what I did was, I made a human and an animal. And now because I was like okayish with animals, I like tigers, so I had practiced a little on animals and all. So I made a tiger and a human being, and I made that into a poster. They did not ask to make a poster, they just had asked to make a scene. And I'm not very good at landscaping and everything, because sketching was not my passion. Sketching was, I did not get into design because I was an artist. I like design, which is why I got into this. So I made it into a poster about road safety week. So something like road safety, and I wrote everything, and I wrote issued by road safety ministry, and things like that. And everything that you do in the poster, you give those touch points, you give the number, website, and all. So that is all I did, and that is how I composed the poster. So that was, I think, out of 30 marks. So even though my drawing was not good, I tried
Tejaswini,
to focus
can I
on
ask
best.
a question?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Why road safety? Like you chose, like, it
Because there
just
was,
asks to make a man. It just asks to make a human and an animal.
Yeah, so I was not very confident of my drawing skills. So I knew that if I'm going to make a man and a animal, let me do a value addition to that, because we are always taught that give more than what you're asked for, go that extra mile. So I thought that instead of making a beautiful scenery, because everyone will do it, the first time you see it, you will think of that there is a road. Let me make maybe a beautiful scenery, maybe a couple. Let's make a couple over there. Let's make two people who are having fun, scenic views. So I thought that let's go an extra mile, let's do something different. So which is, and they give us a square, right? So like I thought, let me make it into a poster. So that is why I did that. Our second question was to make a comic strip. There we had 4 boxes, and it was specifically mentioned to not color it. So we had to use the pencils and all only. We didn't use pen. So pencils and all. A lot of people, like Anushka said, that please read the brief, because what is asked, please do that. Do not waste your time, coloring. So here in comic strips, it can be a little tricky, because very often the people who are an artist, they get into the detailing. Now, when you're making comic strips or something that has to be repetitive, you have to repeat a certain character a lot of times. What we do is that if you are making a beard for the person, for the character, we do it in each and every, we have to, because a comic strip has to have the consistency, and we lose the flow of time. So please make sure that your character is very easy to be made. Your character should be easy and you can repeat it. So maybe you can go step by step, that you make the same character first, so that your
Yeah,
consistency is maintained.
like a bald person with specs.
Yeah. So
It's
you
easy to
make
make.
it easy and you make it quirky, because no one will ask you to make it human like. Human anatomy is not being checked. Your comic sense is being checked. So there you can add all the humor and everything. So what I did was, we had topics like trip to Mars, trip to a dentist's office, and life as a fish. So I thought I could do the Mars part more creatively, even though we had to make a space and I had to color all the space as black. But I chose that because I felt that in the last I can show that I'm going to a trip to Mars, but that was all part of my dream. So I'm being woken up from my dream by my mother. So that was my comment. Like that was, and always, like someone said, that keep the scope for improvement even while you're doing it. And things like comic strips and all, always go for do step by step in all the, like first you can brainstorm at the first, in the first 10 minutes, read all the questions, brainstorm, don't move forward without, and then you divide your time. Like right now you can think that there are 3 hours and I will give 1 hour each. That is not really required. In the poster I can complete the poster in maybe 45 minutes, but in the comic strip I will require more than 1 hour. So give don't have this notion ki itna hi time dena hai. Later on you can revise that. So that was there. And then comic strip, I went step by step. I made my character very easy, because I'm not being judged on my anatomy skills. A little bit I'm being judged on my neatness skills. So that is what I maintained throughout that. I made a very easy character, small hair, short hair, so that I didn't have to color much. So that I didn't put a lot of makeup on her face. I kept it very easy for myself, but I worked on the idea that how to make it humorous, how to make it appealing, so they will feel a little bit engaged. And something, I used human emotions and use elements that more and more people will connect to. So that is what I did. I made it a little funny. I made used childhood memories in that. So that is how I did it, because I made it for a small child. So that is how I moved forward with that. That was a 40 marks question, the biggest question. Our last question that we had was, we had patterns given. So we had one pattern given, and I think, no, sorry, we had 2 or 3 patterns given, and we had to color one of those patterns, write around 3 to 4 lines, and we had to color it either in, I think, festivals, meditation, or travel. So you
Festival,
all,
meditation, travel. Yes, correct.
yeah. So we had to color that in those themes. So all of us have studied color theory, so we know what goes for what goes for travel, what goes for. So I chose festival because I thought I could use real splash of colors in that. And also, in the cat section, they will not check your GK, but you can always show it off. You can always show off what you have, what you know. So I also use that, because I had also learned a little bit of क्योंकि NIFT जाना है, तो I learned a little bit of handicraft and all, for GK. But here also you can always show it off more than what they have asked. So there I infused a bit of elements of Indian handicrafts. So I'm really a fan of bandhej, bandhani and all. So I used that, and with the festival thing, I infused that. So I used Durga Puja, which is Navratri in Gujarat. I am not from Gujarat,
Yeah,
but I
so
really like that
Tejaswini,
festival.
just making it clear for everyone that who's listening, that she's talking about the color grid question, right?
Yeah,
We have done a lot of them where there are patterns and people just fix to that. Oh, I just have to color triangles, I just have to color squares. She's talking about that question. The amount of
yeah,
brainstorming she has done on that, even if she chose festival, she knew what she will be doing. It's bandhej she's showing, she will write about that. That's why, otherwise what she will write. Right, now you can explain this.
Yeah, so the color grid question that we had practiced, here we had as pattern, and those themes we had to follow. So it was all color grid and color psychology, both were there. But they did not, when they said festival, they did not specify which festival. You just have to, so most of the people, when we got out of the room, we asked, and they were like, a festival head should be happy. So we used yellow and colors like that. But you always have the scope to do that extra thing, so always go extra, show off whatever like people here said that you can show off your culture, show off your state. So that is also something that I did. Did not show my state, but I showed something that I knew. So and even we had to write, right? So I wrote about how Gujaratis celebrate the festival, how they have fun, and why I have chosen my colors. I chose colors that make me happy. I chose the colors that will show Gujarat and Bandhej, although because Bandhej has variety of colors. So I can use all that, and I explained why I have done that. So you can always justify your work. You don't have to even stick to something what you have thought. So, and be clear about it, be confident about it, and explain it properly, justify it properly. So that is what I did. That's all.
Yes, 5 tips, Tejaswini. Five tips to
Hi.
clear any
Yeah.
kind of design exam.
Yeah. So for the drawing section and all, it would be that more than your drawing, your ideation, your execution matters. So be very confident about it and justify whatever you're doing. Then it would be to brainstorm. Practice brainstorming. Doesn't even have to be on paper. You can do it in your mind as well. You have to be very solution oriented. Because exam maybe they want designers, and designers have to solve a problem. किसी भी फील्ड से वो डिजाइनर, they will have to solve a certain problem of the society, of a person, of a disabled person, कुछ भी किसी का भी. So do that. Be very go that extra mile. तुमने बोला गया कि design a mobile, maybe you can design that mobile phone for a disabled person. They will not specify कि disabled के लिए बनाओ, but you can do that to show that you are inclusive, you are going that extra mile, you are ready to do that. So those are my tips. Thank you.
Okay. Next, Alan, are you here? Thank you, Tejaswini. I'll come back to you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Alan, are you here?
Yes, ma'am, I'm here.
Yes. So Alan, can you tell us the same thing? Like, how was your experience when what you of an online exam or for design exams, in general, and what do you think uh, went on? How did it happen? The whole experience.
So I badly wanted to get into NIFT. Like that was my only aim. So I used to like practice manifestation and all. I thought like, if you put your mind to it, you would get it. That was my mindset. It wasn't like, okay, if I don't get this year, I'll get it next year. Like my mindset was I will get it, and the whole negative thoughts will never help. So I used to practice manifestation a lot, and yeah, and then my experience, it was great. Basically,
I practice manifestation, and like you're talking about it. So I have told this to my previous kids who know that I had a book, I had a journal diary, and behind I just NID, NIFT, NIFT, NIFT. I used to just write that. I used to be like, there's nothing else in life. That much of obsession, I reached a point. So yes, that happens at a time in life that this is what I want. I don't care about anything else.
I used to have a whole board, like a vision board, and it was just for NIFT, and it was all about NIFT and NIFT students. And I took Instagram pictures. I even had Rimjhim ma'am's like a little photo. Like I made this whole layout of like many NIFT students. So it's like inspiring, and like the campus and all of that. So I can envision myself in it. So I had this whole poster which I'd see every day, and it's crazy because I'm in that place now. So it works. But yeah, you just so for the experience, it was pretty good, and I mean it is stressful. I mean there's only 7 more days, so I can't imagine how y'all feel, but don't stress. It's nothing. You just like imagine it as a little fun thing you're going for, because it's all about your creativity, and it's not like a science MBBS NEET exam and all. It's design entrance. You can do whatever you want. It's all about your creativity and what you show them, you know? So that's all they want to see. And so what I did was, so for CAT, there were 3 questions, and I think it's getting repeated now, but I'll just tell you what I did, and what I was like, what I felt good about. The webinar question, I thought, okay, I should make something more futuristic or something that they probably haven't seen. So I made, I don't remember what, there were 2 boxes. So in one of the boxes, I made like this, I made like a zoomed in version. So I always loved making like a, you know, like a very weird angle, like, how do I say it? Like the perspective, it's like close up, or
Not
like, you know,
normal, not normal, like not how normal people see it. You must be drawing it in a very zoomed in way. Like for example, right now, if it's me who is, you know, sitting here, you would rather just make, you know, this part of me, zoomed in
yeah,
version. So that's
yeah,
how it's,
yeah,
you're
for
talking
sure.
about not doing the things that are normal.
Yeah. Yeah, foreshortening basically. So I made like this guy, like his watch, like his hand is shown, and from the watch there's like this holographic thing where the screen is like coming out, and there's this sir teaching him. And I made this dialogue like the sir is there, and the sir is like unmute karo or something like that, something very humorous, because it's they love humor. I mean, who loves, I mean, who doesn't love, like, you know, funny stuff and like humor? So I made sure that there was a humorous element. So I made that like unmute Karu, and he's literally sitting in a car, but he has his class on, because sometimes we're traveling, but we also want to attend our class. So I made that, and I made a very realistic, because I put like I made his hand hairy and all, you know, like to make it realistic. So that's what I did in one of the boxes. And okay, and for the second question, it was the emoji question, right? So for that, I think I did the good night or something. I really can't remember, but yeah, I think I did good night. And I think I made a very, I think I made the emoji not yellow, because I knew everyone would make it yellow. So good night, it resembles with like moon. So I think I made a little dark blue, and like, you know, it comes slowly, it gets lighter and something like that. And then like a sleepy face, like a very groggy sleepy face, again trying to add humor into it, a little bit like a caricature, but yeah, an emoji. Because I mean, you have to stick to the question, like, you know, everyone else said, you have to read the question once, twice, thrice, until you know, understand. Because the first question was very confusing. Like I heard that my friends and all, they left the question. Like, don't ever do that, don't ever leave the question, at least draw something, you know, even if you don't understand. So try to understand, and try to, whatever you're trying to understand from the question, even the littlest bit, like draw that, because it is important. Don't leave a question alone, because you'll just get 0 then. Marks is important. And for now, I mean, you have to get into the college, you want to get into the college you want. So marks is important, and you have to like be aware of that. So yeah, and the it was yeah, about the instruments. And I think even I drew drums, and I made the sticks different. Like I think I had, yeah, there was Christmas, there was Diwali, there was Onam, and I think there was Eid. Yeah, there was Eid also. But yeah, for this, so what I did was I chose drums because the sticks, I could make it something different. Like for Christmas, I remember I made the drum into something like, but then the sticks were candy canes. So you gotta think creatively. You gotta always think what would someone not think of, when you make a design. Because the first thought that you come is probably what everyone thought. So never go for it. Go for the second or the third thought, because that'll probably be creative you. And another tip I'd like to give is like, think for a second, like for 5 minutes, just think what you could make for it. Like, relax and just think, okay, what can I do? Instead of panicking. That's when you get like good ideas. At least for me, I don't like start right away. For 5 minutes, I think. Even in our coaching, we used to do that. Like they used to give us like some time, like to think. They'd tell us like think and then start. Like don't just start, because that's everyone's gonna do the same thing. So I'd say, take 5 minutes of your time to just think, because after once you draw, you can't erase it. They're not gonna give you a new paper. It's not like CBSE board exams where they'll give a ruled paper. It's on the
Now they
question
will
paper,
get,
and you have.
Alan, now they can take their own papers. So keep
Right.
thinking, keep drawing, keep thinking, keep drawing, keep wasting your time. You can, they are allowed to do it now. So this is what they have to think now, that, it's better I take 10 minutes in thinking rather than just, blah, it's a blank page. Let's start drawing and let's start. No, think and then do every step of things. That's what is the thing.
Yeah.
Let's continue.
Yeah, so that was my experience with the questions. It was, yeah, and I just said don't stress, like eat well before writing the exam. And the next 7 days, just yeah, for the GAT part, a mistake that I made. So there was current affairs, as Rimjhim ma'am said, GK, you know it or you don't. So just start with GK, start taking, like it doesn't even take like a minute, you have to finish it quickly. And this one question, it was very obvious. Everybody, like social media, you have to be aware. Like right now, I'd say go through brands and like, advertisements. Like, there was some Kalyan Jewelries question, and it was everywhere. I literally saw a story somebody put up, but I skipped it. I didn't watch the video. But it was something about a lot of celebrities coming together, and the question was very, like, it was right there, and I didn't know it. But I would have known if I was, a little more attentive, and if I was looking into the advertisements and all of that. So in the next 7 days, do that. Because the funny part was this Kalyan Jewelries question, like Kalyan Jewelry, the whole celebrity thing just happened a month back. So I was like, when did they prepare the question paper? I did not understand. It was so confusing because it was literally 1 month back or something. And so just like the next 7 days, just keep, like, don't stop, like keep looking through current affairs, keep looking
If
through.
I am making the paper, I can change the question today. Right? Exam is 6th. So if something has happened now, and I can change the question, because maybe a lot of people in the world are doing that same thing. So maybe I'll now change the question and make it a little difficult, or give something, a relevant thing to check. I have to check few things for these people I'm taking in my college, right? If I was a teacher, so how do I check their presence of mind? Okay,
Yeah, they are
let's
very
give them something from their life. It's a fashion brand, it's something, it's TV advertisement. What do design kids do? They should watch movies, they should watch ads, they should do all those things. Something very common.
Yeah, even I would like to add up here that this Kalyan Jewelry question, I was going to my center because it was very far from my place one day before. So I checked the Kalyan Jewelry ka website just one day before. I was just looking through, and then it came in the exam. So I was like, what? It was all like, ye kya ho gaya?
Yeah, Kalyan Jewelers, like Katrina Kaif, all these people are there. Like, it's something, it's a jewelry, very big, famous brand. Like, it's same as, how can you not know the brand of Virat Kohli? Like, come on, you're going in design and fashion industry and these kinds of things, and you don't know what Indians are doing, what brand name they have. At the end, you will end up in these places and do things.
The thing is, we will stop, like once we'll be like, okay, now the question paper is like ready, like now we don't have to look too much into the new things, so we won't want to waste time. But it's not true. They literally gave a question like 1 month, something that just came a 1 month back, when they like next to the exam date. So that was shocking for me. And I'd say be prepared. Like they will give you anything. A new news comes out right now, like they might just give like COVID, I don't know, there are new variants, I don't know what they'll ask. Just it's very random. Just like stay up to date, but don't stress too much about GK, of course, because there are other parts, English passages. Just another thing I used to do, I'd like to give this tip because I'm very proud of it. I could finish the passages quickly. You will like lag a bit if you don't have practice in it. So I would say put a timer, like literally like time yourself, like in 5 minutes I have to finish this passage, because there will be like many passages. I think there was 5 6 last time, and you have to finish it quickly.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
time
it will be. And now you have to read online, right? What's the technique of a passage? You read it quickly and you read the questions before. So you read the questions before. So when you are reading the passage, you know that, okay, this is the answer of this here.
Exactly.
So you read the questions beforehand, you read the passage. So it's not like double reading again and again. There's no time.
Exactly. You have to read the questions first, and there are keywords in the questions. So then when you see it in the passage, you will instantly, it'll click you. It won't be hard because you don't have that much time. So those keywords, like pick on it and do it, and you will be able to finish it in 5 minutes per passage. So like, yeah, time management is very important for GAT, but mostly CAT is what's important than GAT. So make sure you put all your creativity in it, and put amazing ideas and put your humor into it. Because why wouldn't, like, just imagine the invigilator is correcting like lakhs of papers. They'd want some humor, they'd want some, they'd want to laugh a bit. Like imagine how bored they'd be. So be that person and like put some humor into it, put creativity into it, and make your paper like the best. Yeah.
Thank you, Alan. Thank you so much
Thank
for giving these tips, because it's important, right? I also like to, when I check papers, I'm like, show me something interesting, like you are 18 19 year old, your life should be happening right now, and you are just going into the design field, you should be exploring your life and doing all those things in the paper, and telling the person, oh, this is happening right now in India, or this is happening in the, you would inform them with those kinds of things you are doing in exam. Okay, next we have Aniket. Aniket, are you here?
Yes, ma'am. Hi.
Hi, Aniket. How's your day? Are you feeling bored? Because everyone is saying like NIFT, 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 NIFT.
No, ma'am, not actually. I have honestly, I have a little bit of this regret thing in my mind going right now. But anyway, what
That should not
happened
happen.
is what
That should not happen.
led
So
by
I'll tell
will be
everyone where
binding.
Aniket is coming from. Is like he
Yeah,
has prepared for exam. He's studying in AMITY, and he chose that
yeah,
NIFT is not what I cleared and things. So he's the best person to tell you about things that you should not do in exam,
not
because
do. Yeah.
yeah, things you should not do in exam, because that's a different kind of experience. That's a different kind of experience when someone's telling you that I didn't end up in this college I dreamed for, that I ended up in this college, and now I know how my life has to be from now on. So Aniket, yes, start telling us, how was your NIF preparation? What all things happened?
So yeah. So first of all, I would like to introduce. I'm Aniket, and I am from Amity University, which is based in Noida. And so, of course, I also attempt NIFT examination, which did not happen for me. But yes, I keep on talking about the mistakes I did if I can't talk about what I did. So the biggest mistake which everyone is talking, which actually is a biggest thing which all do, is reading the question. Why it is mandatory? Because I tell you, I'm a victim of it. I read the question and I chose to draw all 4 different kinds of instruments for different kinds of festival. So there I lagged a lot. Also, one thing which I want to add is in the first question, which was a webinar question, I had this concept of making Rajasthani handicraft, like this puppet thing which happens, the Katputli. So I wanted to make someone doing an online puppet show, a Katputli show, on a webinar where I made a ring light, a phone, a tripod stand. But there where I lagged was coloring. If you just have 6 days to the examination, you cannot, even if you try a lot, you will waste your time in just like doing coloring part. So if you are not good at coloring, don't just do it, because it was not even mandatory there to color the thing. So what I did was I invested my lots of time in coloring those small thing, because the rectangle boxes were small. So I've made this small elements. I was wasting my time in coloring these things which did not even came up so appealing. So please do not do that. If you feel your coloring part is not good enough right now, do not, because just a minute. So sorry for this. So they won't be seeing what the coloring you do. But yes, if you want to apply some color theme, any kind of color related theory into your artwork, which is relevant to your work, I would suggest go in this small thing. Like if you have to color a circle, you can make different lines. You can use lines or various elements of design. It's not mandatory you just do gradient effect or just color the whole thing. So if it's mandatory and you know it's not your thing, you can use different elements to color it. Okay.
It's not
Then the next,
mandatory. It's not mandatory, Aniket. It's not written anywhere that, you know, the
but it
background has to be colored fully yellow and fully blue, and, you know, where is it written?
no, that's what I'm saying. It's not
Yes,
written.
that's
You
what
have to
we are here
color.
to talk about, that you can do anything. You know, that
Hi.
circle you are talking about, you're saying that in that circle, instead of coloring full circle, you can just color the outline a little bit, or, you know, just make lines in it. At
That's
the
what I'm
end, you
saying.
have to
You can
use design.
fill it with the different thing. Which, if I am personally not good at coloring and I'll take my lots of time in doing this circular strokes, I better
Yeah, then
use
I'm
lines
going
to
in
color
exam
the
for the
thing.
teacher to cut my marks,
Exactly. I
right?
am giving them an opportunity to
You are
cut my
going
marks.
there to, you know, they have asked, do this, and you are going. I am not good in human anatomy, so I am
Hmm.
making a human. Please cut my marks. It's like
Wrong.
that.
Yeah. If I'm doing
Yeah.
something
So
which I'm
yeah.
bad at, I am giving the opportunity to both. Come on, hit me. So that's how you lose the marks. Also, it's about choosing questions, which is a very mandatory thing. Please choose a question wisely, and you have to be very clever at that very moment, because see, you heard all these people doing something very different. These 4 or 5 people who spoke has really brilliant ideas. They had really different attempts. So you have to think, like, they must have thought, if I'll choose this question in between these three given questions, for one instance, I'm very sure this could have come in their mind. See, okay, if I'm attempting this question, it might be a question which less will attempt. So you have to make sure that you attempt a question which is not a question a lot will attempt. So for one instance, this could have come in like anybody's mind, like let's say Mitushi or Anushka or someone. Okay, I want to attempt this question. Yes, this is my thing. I'm good about, like, I have a good knowledge about it. But also as a secondary thought, this could have came, okay, if I'm choosing this question in these, like if I'm choosing this good morning what emoji, it would have been an emoji which a lot will not choose. A lot will choose this happy emoji, because of course it's an easy thing. A lot will go to it. But if Mitushi is thinking that I'm choosing a good morning thing, she must have this thought in her mind, okay, a lot will not choose good morning emoji. So yeah, you go these ways. And of course, am I audible?
Yes, you are audible, Aniket. Yes.
Uh,
Yes, it's,
so
you are
also
telling
one
me
thing
one
which
thing
is
that you
from,
said. Now, is there any other things that people should not do?
yeah, yeah. So also the another thing is about the time management. So I'll tell you how I did the 3 questions. So we had one hour broadly for every question. I thought it's 40, 40, 40. And then what I did in the first every attempts, like what I did not do one question in the first hour and the I did like 10 minutes. I gave 10 minutes for the line drawing or the rough sketch for every question. And then I came back to another questions for like shading or coloring part. And then again, I came to the question where I had to put details like using, if I had to use a dark line, if I had to make something different which makes it like something with different appeal or something. And then I had another few times for which I could really think again, as they said, the scope of improvement part. So I had this time which basically don't have, like if you go slow, you won't have it. If you have a target of 1 hour for each question, I really don't think you will have that 10 minutes. So just make a target of 40 or something and keep watching to the watch. Like I was like, okay, the 10 minutes are left and all that. So yeah, you have to also one more thing. So when we used to have this, like I've studied with ma'am only in the last year. So when they used to give us, and that was online only. So when the question used to come to us as a mock test or something, I had this very bad habit of looking to the laptop once for the ideas. Like if there's question, I had to, I used to point these keywords and then went to the laptop and searching something relevant to that. So this time it's online. So you might do that if you are planning to do so. Just don't, because I have my college examination on proctors only, the same application, and it's so sensitive that even if someone comes to my room and like passes in front of me and say one thing, the proctor pauses your exam and you have to be prepared for it. Like if I don't know if NIFT has an help desk or something like that, because my college has it. So it's somewhere
They
I have
have,
a convenience for that.
like it's a
They have.
proctored exam.
Okay.
So the someone is watching you when you are doing
Yeah,
completely.
exactly.
So
So
it's
if
like
you're
you're being
thinking that,
observed. And
yeah,
yeah, so
it's
if in
very
that moment
sensitive,
of time
very,
you are
very
not taking
sensitive.
rough pages and you are not doing brainstorming, you are just, 5 hours sitting there, you are being observed basically for 5 hours. So
Yeah.
you have to behave, you
Like
have to
people
do
will
things
have
that
this thought ki who will
are
come and sit
required.
in front of me for that long time. So you have to be smart enough that I don't know who is this person, but this person is very sensitive and clever. So he is literally watching everything. Even if you are sitting and reading the question and you, like I said something which is not relevant to the question, I got this message on this proctor that what are you saying? Are you talking to someone or not? So you have to be very like observing, and please don't let anyone come inside a room, sit in a room where no one is available and no one is, even if someone is coming, please write this on the paper that don't talk and paste it on the back of your laptop and let them not say anything, because proctor will keep pausing your examination again and again and again. He is no one, and like he is very sensitive. I will just say he's very sensitive, and he can sense anything, any noise or any vibration or something. Or also, yeah, one more very important thing: if you're thinking to keep your mobile phone like near here and you're gonna write the examination or gonna do anything for your cat examination, I would suggest don't, because that can also be sensed by the proctor. That is also a thing. And yeah, and for the GAT, you anyway you have lots of paper and everything. So keep brainstorming and all. Like take you now that you have a limit, don't have a limitation of space. You can just brainstorm on all the available pages you have. So yeah, that's it. So and best of luck for the examination.
Thank you so much, Aniket, for giving the tips of things not to do, because that's important. Things you don't have to do, which means, you don't have to make something common. You don't have to make something. So don't go in those kinds of directions, because that means you yourself are putting kulhadi on your paw, right? I don't know if I can say this in English. You are putting a spade on your leg, like you are going there to, deduct your marks and then be upset about it, and then I'll not get a college, and starting that whole cycle. So be very prepared for all the things that you are going. The 7 days should be taken as, if it's NIFT you are giving, be it BDUS, MDUS, whatever it is, it's a design exam. It shouldn't matter. It should matter what question is given, how you are solving that question, how you are coming up with different kinds of solutions. And it's a fight from with your own self. Like today, if I get a question and I have to solve it, I'll be like, oh, I'll never do it how I did it before. I'll always be better from what I was doing before. So that thought process has to be there. Diya, hi, how are you?
Hi, ma'am. I'm good. How are you?
I am good too. Can you start with this conversation? Because after you, I think only Vaishnavi is left, right? And then we can open the
Shreya's
things
also
to
left, I
on
guess.
Shreya and Vaishnavi, yes, sorry. And
Yeah.
then we can open the things to the people who can ask their doubts. Yes.
Yeah. So I would start with like everyone has their journey. I had my own. For me, it was like a bit different because I come from a place where people don't know what NIFT is, what it is about. Like if you speak design in front of them, for them, design is just fashion design and it's tailor's job. That's it. They don't understand what design could be. And secondly, like I was good at studies. I was a bright student. So for them, me choosing design for my teachers, for my relatives, everyone, it was like very odd thing happening in my life. So like everyone around me just told me, don't go for this, go for maybe engineering or maybe go for NEET and things like that. But my parents were with me, so like I went ahead and did it. And if I talk about the exam, so in the exam, the first question, even though I knew the question, I understood it, but like people around me were very confused about the first question. That was the webinar question. Even when I listened to like the interviews and everything, I just came to know that everyone was very confused with that question, that what needs to be done there. But I was pretty like sure what needs to be done, but I listened to everyone that no, you're confusing her and I have to leave it for now. So I just left that
Yeah, it's a
question as
hype
a
people create around you. It's a
yeah.
hype.
So
It's a hype
yeah,
that, if someone starts telling me, oh, it's so cold, and I'll start feeling cold, and I'll be like, yeah, I'm supposed to feel cold in this environment. But,
yeah,
it's a very straightforward question. It's given for you to understand it. No one else should tell you what you have to do in a design exam. You should be that capable enough, that self-confident to be like, no, I know what I am doing, and I don't care about what left, right, front, back, or anyone else is doing in the paper, because my design skills and my design education is very clear. So I know what I am doing is I'm doing everything which is required in the exam. And then it becomes like, because it escalates that, yeah, design exams are hard. Design exams are so hard. Oh my God, it's so stressful. It's so this, that. It's not like that. It's very easy. Take it easy. Do whatever you would want to do in the exam. I would do that. Right? Yes, continue.
yeah. So I left that question at first. Then I went to the second question. It was about the emoji one. I was very bad at poster designs. So for them, I had like ready-made mascots, we can say, or like things which I had to put in the poster if it comes. So that helped me. I made a emoji for do not disturb. I made like a girl, a sort of thing, but it was like funny. It has big eyes, a big lips, and everything like that. And it just said do not disturb. I used typography in it and I just made it like that. The mistake which I didn't in it was I used a bad color scheme. I would say that just keep good color schemes for yourself. I would have lost marks there. And coming to the third
Can you
question,
explain what do you mean by color schemes, Diya?
yeah, so color schemes are like basic color palettes are there. Like with this, the color combination, these are contrast colors, these are tertiary colors. So, like you should have a perfect color scheme. Randomly, you cannot take any two colors and just put them, which I did in the exam. So yeah, just keep something ready for yourself that this color goes with this color and keep these things ready at first. That would help you a
Yeah, it
lot.
could also be
Then
like that
coming to
I
the
am
third
making this poster. I want everything to be red in this poster. It's my choice. It's my
yeah.
choice. So I can just take all the shades of red and do make the whole poster look red because it's an awareness poster. That's my thinking, right? So maybe I'll use dark red, light red. It's a monochromatic theme. So she's talking basically about this, that beforehand be ready. That okay, in this one I will use only these four colors. I won't use anything extra. right? Because it's not like a painting we are creating. It's a design question we are answering. So we fix things from before. Yes, Diya, continue.
Yeah, and for the third question, it was that instrument question. So I just the main thing, like everyone told, read the question carefully. People around me, many of the people, they made like 4 different instruments and they lost marks. And I'm sure they would have suffered, but I read the question carefully. It just said use one element and pick 4 festivals. So I took guitar. I made a kite. I made the kite festival that happens in Run of Kutch, and I made that. I gave the kite effect to that guitar. Attached a string to it and made the Kutch white desert and everything. Then for I took the Onam meal that we have, so I gave the guitar the effect of a banana leaf. So the string of the guitar, they were the stem of the banana leaf, and I gave it the color texture and everything. Then the third I did was Diwali. For that, I made like a rocket from that same guitar. I used a bottle and gave everything. And lastly, I made a pichkari for the holy thing from the same guitar. So yeah, in that also in Diwali thing, I ruined it. I used the background. I tried to like create a night scene and everything, so that I ruined the background for my rocket and
It's
everything. So just
it's very, I am very happy if you are coming here and telling that I know I did this mistake in the exam, and that's why you know why you are in NIFT Hyderabad. So I am very happy if you know why you are there and what has happened in the exam. At least you will not repeat it, you know, or you are
yeah,
sharing your experience, so you know that your marks has been reduced here. So now these people, when they start attempting the question from beforehand, if they are not doing all these things, they should know the marks are going in all
yeah.
this. That self-awareness that has to start coming in. Yes. Tell.
Then lastly I went for the first question, and for that for one screen I did like the basic things that needs to be done. I created a Google Meet scene complete, and in the second blog, then I thought it was going easy. I had time. There were 2 questions. I did like time bounding. So what I went ahead, I just created a perspective view of a room in which a person would like to like study. I sort of narrated all the things so that I could like show it to the examiner that I know this, I know that. So I also created like isometric view of that laptop and everything like that. So I just sort of tried to convey it to the examiner that I know these skills since I had time.
Okay. All right. Any tips you would want to give, Dia, to these people?
Yeah, yeah, the most important thing, talking about the GAT, I would like to share one thing that for me it happened that GK, I'm very bad at GK. I used to be, now it's better. So what I did for the current affairs, like there was this question that when is Youngsters Day, or I guess Youth Day celebrated? So there were the options from January, and who for whose birthday it is celebrated, the date was given that 21st January or something. So I was very confused that who it might be. Then I just remembered that last month whose photograph like I saw on social media. So I just remembered it was Swami Vivekanand. I saw on all Instagram stories, and I went ahead like that. Then for a brand like Kalyan Jewelers also, I saw on stories of Katrina Kaif that she's endorsing the brand. Like even using social media helps. Just use it in a better way. Just observe things around you that are happening,
Yeah, don't
and
stalk
secondly,
people.
manage
Like,
time.
stock relevant, design firms, design people, fashion brand ambassador, Indian handicraft pages, news pages. Like, follow those people.
Yeah,
It will help you a lot because
magazines and
swiping and scrolling is the best thing you can learn from. If you scroll on the right space, if you swipe through the right places, if you are on the right relevant pages, you will always have those information. That's why I tell that Instagram and all, don't take that as a bad thing, take it as a good thing. Because today, if I want to search anything related to my field or career, I go to the search section of Instagram and I write product design, and the top posts that come, I know these are relevant things which are going on. So I use it like that. So we have to now really, because 7 days are left, start doing these things if you haven't been doing them. Increase your knowledge in whichever way you can. And next tip, Diya?
Yeah, and lastly, sleep well. For me, it happened that if you guys are at home, you can sleep peacefully. For me, it happened the nearby hotel had some function and I couldn't sleep the whole night before my
Yes.
exam, and it ruined things for me. And you have to sit online in front of a screen, so it's a tedious job. But have a nice sleep, have a nice etiquette, like be confident and
Yeah,
just
see
relax.
today's session, this webinar, right? How many? 12 we started. Is
Yeah,
not even one.
you
5
start
hours we
yawning.
have to sit, and 5 hours we have to think, and we have to be present and alive, and it takes effort. If yesterday I didn't had my 8 hours of sleep, my brain would be like, Rimjhim, I'm sorry, I'm not interested in working today. Yeah, so these are common things. These are things which are important for your brain to work in the direction of making new things and creating and designing new things. Your brain has to be very stress free. So, you know what I will do before 7 days? I will remove all the people from my life who are giving me that stress. And I will make sure I inform them that, see, my exam is this coming, and I'm preparing for my college entrance. I will earn on these things. This is important for me. So give me that space, and I will take that space for myself, that no, tomorrow is this. I'll start preparing up now for 7 days. Maybe the mock test online will happen once, but I'll make sure I'm giving mock line, setting everything up, sitting, even trying 5 hours. How does it feel like? Am I able to work? I will take 5 set of questions. I'll start preparing. I will still not be stuck in places that, oh, I don't know maths. Oh, I don't know, like, this brand ambassador. I'll be like, okay, this is what I know. Let's make this better. Everyone knows what is coming in exam. Is it hidden? A question will come that you have to solve through design knowledge and your design skills. You will have to present your idea. Anything else is happening? Yes, no. Anything else is happening?
Everything that you have studied, you have come across, only that is gonna happen.
Only that, or things that are happening in your life. Something from Italy or Paris or France will not come.
It won't appear.
It will come from your country, from your state, from your place, from your life, because you are an 18-year-old. You use Instagram, Twitter, or you should use them. You should use them. It's happening in your life. If you are living in that zone that, okay, no, I am only this, that doesn't work. When you walk on tiles, you should know what tiles it is, which material is it, what are you wearing right now, which brand is it, who's the low, what's this material, what's the print happening on it. You pick clothes like, this is called being observant. This is called being observant, that, oh, okay, this fan above, if there's a fan above me, how many blades it has, why it has only 3. Start questioning and start doing these things the coming 7 days. So when you will sit for exam and you will read a question, you will exactly know, I have to show off my design knowledge in any kind of form, be it typography, be it sketching, be it storyboarding, be it telling my journal awareness, telling any kind of thing. I have to show it off. Otherwise, what's the point for preparing 2 years, 1 year, 1 month? If in the exam we go in and we just like, what's this question? We are confused. So clarity will come when you will start asking yourself and start talking to your own self in the exam. You will have to do that. You will have to start questioning either in head or either in the paper on a rough space, that, okay, this has been given and this is what I have to do. Yes, Diya, can I conclude what you have been saying?
Yes, ma'am. And the
Yes.
last thing I would say, if I can do it, you can do it. That's it.
Yeah, it's so easy. It's so easy. If like I can do it, I didn't use sketching. Like if someone will tell me make a flower, I'll be like, what? Why? It's already there. Why do you want to make me another flower? I'll make a flower in geometric shapes, or I'll make a different flower. That's what I will do. So this is the approach you have to take in exam. Next, who is there?